Finishing loose ends. In these instructions, the word thread is used to represent whatever string, cord, twine, rope, yarn, or thread you are using to net. The word shuttle is used to represent either a netting needle or a netting shuttle. There's more than one way to deal with the two ends that are left when new thread is joined to your netting. Pick the way that works best for the netting you are doing. When netting with fine thread and small mesh, cut the ends close to the knot. For added security, and before you cut the ends, an overhand knot may be tied below the joining knot. Force the overhand knot right up against the netted knot. Then cut the end next to that overhand knot. For all other types of thread, make sure that when you tie the joining knot, you leave long ends. Netting the end into your project. If the joining knot is right at the bottom of the loop, you can net the ends from the joining knot into other knots. On the row after tying the joining knot, just net as usual into the loop that has the joining knot tied at its bottom. The new knot should wrap around the joining knot. Make sure to bring the two ends from the joining knot through the final loop that ties the knot above the joining knot. On the row after that, hold one of the ends along the side of the loop to the left of the loop with the joining knot in it, and include the end in the knot tied. Repeat the process with the other end in the next loop, the loop to the right of the loop with the joining knot in it. Here is another demonstration of the process. The leftmost end gets tied into one loop, and the rightmost end gets tied into another loop. Continue this process until the end is too short to be included in a knot. Then cut the end. Weaving the end into your project. Decide which direction the end will lie most smoothly against the existing netting. For this example, I think it lies best this way. Thread one end into a blunt end needle. The eye of the needle needs to be big enough to accommodate the thread being used. The needle should be as thin as possible. Poke the blunt end needle into the first knot in that direction. Pull the needle and with it the end through the existing knot. This may loosen the knot. If that happens, once the needle and end are through the knot, just pull and tighten the knot back up. Remove the needle from the end. Locate the spot on the end where, if stretched out, the end is next to the netting knot. I usually mark this spot with my finger and pull on the end to scrunch up the netting and make the end as long as possible. Tie an overhand knot at the spot your fingers are marking. This will prevent the end from slipping back through the last knot. And pull the netting so that the overhand knot fits up against the regular netting knot. Repeat the entire process for the second end. Repeat this process until the end is too short for the needle to go through a knot without losing the thread. You can either go in a line from knot to knot or zigzag from knot to knot. Continue this process until the end is too short to be included in a knot. Then cut the end.